just a moment later than usual, right? That's not bad. All right. It's 9:01, right? Solidly 9:01 a.m. AD 2026. Hey, tell your bosses that the weather is too humid. It's Monday the 8th of June, AD 2026. And we're having a fun loosey-goosey the Hake Report show already. I can feel it. Terrible things going on in the world. Oh my gosh. Incidents here, incidents there, incidents everywhere. I was talking with the AI, with Grok, about some of these incidents that have happened over recent months. One in the UK, very famous or viral case right now, in which a young man no longer with us because another young man, an angry young man, was born in the ghetto. And his grandma said that he was a difficult boy, especially as many are, he said, who are born in, she said, who are born in Britain. Can you believe it? She's blaming, but there she has an interesting point in that a lot of second generation immigrants, meaning children who were born to immigrants, they end up being back to the regular crime levels, and maybe even worse, sometimes terrorism. Children of immigrants. You know how they say, oh, immigrants commit less crime than the citizenry in general. Well, their children commit about the same crime. And on top of that, they're kind of alienated because in these countries, you get brainwashed against your own country, in America, in the UK, in many of these other so-called Western nations. Terrible. Whew. And she said that the grandma defended the mom, this is a mother-in-law defending her daughter-in-law, for hiding the ceremonial blade, if you will. I don't even know if it was a real ceremonial blade. Hiding the murder weapon. Saying that's what any mother would do. Sounds like some dysfunctional mothers. And the father was around. He and the brother of this incident are both charged with, like weapons violations. Terrible. So, and this guy was an angry young man, anger problems. So I was reading about that, and I was reading about the incident at Penn Station with a emotionally disturbed individual. Terrible. And I feel like there was one other story related to these up close and personal weapons, different from the guns. But it's a big mess. Is it me or am I live already on Facebook? Did I start? Hey, I might have started right up on Facebook. That's different. I will be taking your calls if you'd like to call in. 888-775-3773. And your Superchats, buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. But please do not slash Hake. We're talking about the, anyway, it's something on the keyboard. Let me get stuff ready over here. If American Anchor Baby, by the way, is set to go live right after Hake today. Hope you enjoyed Church with Jesse Lee Peterson. Rebuildingtheman.com/church. It's always a vibe. Here, let me do this. Yep, nice. If we mosey on over here, you can check out Hake, watching Hake. And what's up? I'm live on Rumble too. I believe, we rated the stream there. And over on pilled.net, pilled.net/The Hake Report. What's up, y'all? Stream there. Sounds kind of like real media player, real audio player, whatever. Winamp. I don't know. Very, very poor audio quality. But that was an initial thing. I will read your coffees. Eric bought some coffees. It looks like Eric, right? Tori did as well, as did Caesar. I don't know if I got to barbecue Pringles super chats. I did about the extra chromosomes, right? Would I give extra chromosomes to others who did not have them? I'm like, can you do that? I don't know. I doubt I'd want to go through that. And he said, I'm not sure if you can. UN speaker Kryon, Kryon, Lee Carroll, said they're adding them, though. What in the world? And so I don't know. Said you can, let's find out. Chromosomes. Real quick, just to see what this is. Lee Carroll channels the spiritual entity known as Kryon, has indeed spoken about humanity evolving to have 24 chromosome pairs. What do we have right now? According to the channeled messages, this is not a literal physical mutation, but rather a spiritual multidimensional upgrade to the human blueprint. I don't even know who this is. Achieve higher states of consciousness. Oh, Lord, really? Breaking down the Kryon DNA claims. The 24th pair metaphor in Kryon lore. What is this? Humans inherently have 23 physical chromosome pairs. Okay. The 24th pair is described as a non-physical, multidimensional. It's like a sixth sense. Like God has a sixth sense of humor. Multidimensional aspect of DNA that governs intuition, connection to source, capital S, source, and mastery. The evolutionary shift, the teachings suggest that a shift in Earth's energy is allowing this dormant spiritual DNA to be, quote-unquote, activated. Science versus metaphysics. From a biological standpoint, human beings possess 23 pairs of chromosomes. What is this? In the United Nations context, while Kryon material is not officially endorsed by the UN itself, Lee Carroll was invited to channel Kryon several times between 1995 and 2009 for the Society of Enlightenment and Transformation, SEAT. The A, they capitalize A. A recreational and cultural club for UN staff members. What? Let me just see. I have no idea what you're talking about. Let's see if this... Pardon me, I hit the mic, and then we'll get going here. Okay. A speaker named Lee Carroll, who says he speaks for a spirit named Kryon, with a K, and the idea that human chromosomes are being added. He was invited to speak a few times to a private meditation club made up of UN employees, United Nations. They do not officially endorse him. The chromosome claim. I thought it said chromosome club for a second. There's no scientific evidence humans are growing new chromosomes. Whatever. Well, thank you, sir. Barbecue Pringle. I much appreciated the little segue, I guess. Chromosomes per Kryon Lee Carroll. Okay. No endorsement implied. Info may be false. The usual stuff. Terrible incidents in the world. And it's kind of predictable with these bad families, right? That Sikh family, more sick than Sikh, perhaps. You know those guys, the Sikh people? They they are ready to defend the innocent. That's why they carry knives. A man should be ready to defend the innocent, defend the weak. But no, he did not defend the weak. He attacked the weak. That's not right. But anyway, y'all. Am I ready? I'm not sure. What did I just do? There we go. I feel like I want to get right on with it. Let me see if I can. Yeah. Let's just get, I think, right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh.
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report.
That was loud.
La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how y'all doing? I'm fine. Yeah, I have my name on my shirt. Terrible. Yeah, no, it's not terrible. It's nice. Another Hake shirt, not a fake shirt. And it is gilded orange. And it's Hake, the Hake Report in white. Shout out to the guy who designed this. Looks all right. Looks okay. Hake. Just in case you forgot who you're watching. Let me get to some calls here. David in Ocala, Florida, is on the line here. David, thank you for calling and holding, sir. You're on.
Hey, good afternoon.
Hey, that's right. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, hold on a second. I had to write something down real quick. Hey, I called about that. Did you see in the news where this kid's truck got stolen and it had a tracking device on it in Houston, and the father tracks down the stolen truck, and the thief shoots and kills him.
Whoa.
And of course he's black.
What a mess.
I mean, dude. I mean, this stuff we talk about is out of control.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean,
you got to be careful.
racism.
Sometimes criminals are foolish. 56-year-old Louis Erebia was shot and killed June 6th, 2026. A Houston, Texas father helping his son track down a truck that had been stolen at gunpoint. Oh, man. Earlier that afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. I thought it was a carjacking thing, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah. 24-year-old family friend located the vehicle using GPS tracker. Well, that was, I have to say, man, that was foolhardy. I know that it's, I'm blaming the victim here, but it's true. Isn't that true?
I sort of get you, yeah. I mean,
It's evil,
well,
of course, what the criminal did, allegedly. But, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I would say if you were going to do something like that, you better be packing some heat yourself. You get what I'm saying? You don't, it's like to say you don't bring a knife to a gunfight, right?
Yeah. Okay, so the blue Chevy Silverado, nice truck, sounds like, carjacked at a North Houston station. He and a friend subsequently tracked it using a mobile app. The group located the truck near blah, blah, blah. The stolen truck was involved in a collision. Suspects fled toward a nearby Chevron station. Erebia and the younger man chased the suspects on foot. During the pursuit, suspect turned around, opened fire. Erebia, pardon me if I'm butchering his name, was fatally shot. Lewis was shot. During the pursuit, a suspect did that. Coverage reports he died while shielding the younger man, who was also shot in the back somehow, but expected to survive. Man, oh man. A 37-year-old suspect. That's not just like a young whippersnapper. That's a grown so-called man. London Hogan Sr., a father, apparently, arrested and booked into the Harris County Jail. London Hogan, interesting name, has been charged with murder, aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and the non-fatal shooting of the family friend. Wow, what a mess. Thank you for the story tip, sir.
Yeah.
What a
And
foolish.
yeah.
Foolish all around, especially the criminal.
The thief and his accomplice or whatever. I think there was two of them. I don't know for sure. But anyway, tried to carjack somebody else when they were running away from the scene of the crime.
Wow. Glad that didn't work.
No, but then I saw this clip this weekend about the Metcalf thing. You know, the
Austin.
Carmel.
Yeah.
They filmed this black dude out on the street saying, the only good white is a dead white.
Yeah. Only he didn't say white. He said the C word, the crack word.
Cracker. Oh,
word.
Yeah. Is that what it was?
Yep. Yeah, I
yeah.
heard that on the Jason Lee Peterson show, and maybe on Anchor Baby, too.
I mean, see how far this is turned? I mean, this is just insanity what they get away with, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, if a white dude said something like that, man, they would be jumping up and down. See, it's okay for them to call us white boy, okay?
Right. Yep.
And cracker. Yeah, it's all right. But there's also a video of this big, fat black woman just destroying this convenience store.
And this is like a recent viral clip?
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, she's just destroying it. She's half naked, man. She's in
wow.
I mean, dude, it doesn't even look like a bathing suit, man. I mean, it's like she's walking around in her underwear and bra, and she destroys this store. Okay?
Yeah.
And what the owner should have a baseball bat behind the counter and just come out there and start swinging it.
Right.
To stop something like that.
Yeah.
Now, I told you, this is what I had to write down because I didn't want to forget this, okay?
All right.
I told you how the Hollywood and all these screenwriters or whatever you want to call them that write these shows and everything like that have been flaming the racist card, I mean, for the last, 20 years, okay? I mean, really hard, okay?
Right.
Now, I saw this clip this weekend. This is how far they've gone, okay? This black family is getting tortured by this white racist cop, okay?
Okay.
And they have a video camera that can go back in time once he kills one of their people and try to fix the situation. Is that messed up or what, dude?
This is a movie? What is this?
No, it's like a TV show or something. I don't know. I just saw the clip.
Okay.
Those little clips like you do.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, that is disturbing.
Yeah.
Okay. That you got to break some stuff out like that. Okay. That you got this video camera that will alter reality.
True.
And this show's full-blown racist against this cop, okay, this maniac white cop.
The propaganda is so backwards.
Huh?
The propaganda is so backwards.
Yeah.
Because they cast it like we're so bad. And some of us are, of course, but and they're innocent victims. You know what I mean? What a mess.
Yeah, they never do anything. Remember after they're dead, he was such a great kid. He was
right.
He was he only had 13 felonies and only carjacked 8 people, but he was such a good young man. Yeah. It's like the little thug that got shot and killed by the old woman breaking into her house, and then the girl tells the news media, well, how else was he going to get his shoes and his clothes? And you remember
I don't
that one?
believe that. I feel like that was edited video to make kind of rage bait. I think.
No, that was
I know
real.
I know that some of this stuff is real, because it's so backwards that a criminal can sue a store if somebody tries to stop them from shoplifting. If you get injured because somebody's trying to stop you, and you can sue the store. So there is ridiculous stuff like that, of course. But
Especially where you live in California.
True.
You know. How about that mayor race with that major ballot dump? Okay.
oh
I mean,
man. I guess I should have known. I should have known that Spencer Pratt had no chance. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I guess they have a little bit left to go. He may pull ahead yet. He's 3,000 votes behind, last I heard, per the Jesse Lee Peterson show. And you know, we have such a big population, and we have such a radical group of people, and we have such brainwashing and people who don't really care, but they make it so easy for the people who don't really care that much to vote. And I don't like that, because I like it for my own sake, my own convenience, but I don't like it for the convenience of the liberals, because the liberals don't really care about the country or the city. They stay fat and sassy anyway, or else they get to complain but not really connect the dots that they're voting in for their own destruction. So I really appreciate Trump saying what he says about the election, but I don't know myself what the truth is.
I think mail-in ballots should be illegal, because
Maybe
that's
so.
where unless you're like you can't leave your house, like for sickness or something, or
Yeah.
you're in the hospital, something like that, or you're in the military and you're overseas or whatever. That's it, man.
They have all...
maybe there's a few other things, but it's just a recipe for cheating.
Yeah, or just like delays. Like, there doesn't need to be all these delays. I think they wait to vote to count the mail-in until the day of the voting, or the day after, or something like that. And so
like
they could be counting.
3 days after. They got like 3 days. They got to wait for the mail to come in. So the person
Right. They'll let you postmark it on the day of the vote. What in the world?
Yeah, that's not
too lenient.
good.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not right. Because so back in the olden days, people had to wait months before we had mass communication or rapid communication. In the early days of America, we waited months. But in modern times, we would know, in my lifetime, I think, we knew that pretty much right away. And exceptions to the rule, with Florida, I know that there was some recounts and stuff when George W. Bush beat Al Gore fair and square. And then, I guess we're a very close elections now, very hotly divided. There's always suspicion. And the losers are always conspiracy theorists, you'll notice. They'll be like, oh, Russia got Trump in office. What a mess. It's terrible.
Speaking of Al Gore, could you imagine if he would have got elected, man, how much quicker that, so if he got elected and then Obama got elected and then Clinton got elected, could you imagine how that green energy bull crap will be jammed down our throats so hard, man?
Yeah.
I mean, we would have been finished.
Caruso, we appreciate it. This morning, a Houston father killed after helping track down his son's...
My fault. I accidentally played something. I was about to blame Anchor Baby because he walked in just at the moment that it happened, but I think it was my fault. Anyway.
Well, one more thing, and I'll let you go. Didn't he say that y'all in California, y'all voted against some proposition? Was it the gay marriage thing?
Yeah, multiple propositions. Yep.
Well, yeah, but was that it? That y'all voted against it at like 70%, and they still made you? They still forced it down y'all's throat?
I don't remember what the percentage was, but yes, in 2008 we voted for what was called Prop 8. And that was defining marriage as between a man and a woman. And I heard that we did this type of thing multiple times, defining so-called same-sex marriage. Now, I feel, honestly, between you and me, that, and they never enforced it. It was, held up in courts, and then they said, oh, it's unconstitutional. And then the so-called Supreme Court did their thing with forcing it on all the states, the so-called same-sex marriage. But by the time that you're having to say that what marriage is, you've already lost, because if the people are that lost that they have to be told what marriage is, then you're kind of this is like the last gasp of trying to hold on to your Christianity, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And in the 90s, I remember I was a kid, or a teenager maybe. The adults voted for Proposition 187. And that was no welfare services, no social services, meaning education or medical help or whatever, for illegal immigrants. But that was never enforced either. The government never enforced it. It might have been held up in courts, or the attorney general or whatever didn't want to enforce it, so it was never enforced. All of these things, the California voters did not vote for it. But
that's like lawlessness.
It is. Yeah.
You know, it talks about that in the Bible, man, that in the last days it'd be lawless.
Yeah.
Man, just like that. I mean, my goodness.
Good point.
Nobody would believe what you're saying, like in 1970. You get what I'm saying? They would never believe that you could vote for something like that, and they don't care. That's why they're so brazen, man. That's why they're like Nancy Pelosi. Okay, you know how she's just so. Like this reporter came up to her talking about them not sending out the National Guard, and how that film that was in her car. You know, I guess her daughter took that video.
Oh yeah, January 6th. She was like, we should have had more security. Is that one?
Yeah, well, but she totally denied ever saying that.
Wow. Yeah.
So anyway,
that's like Obama type stuff, where you just lie through your teeth.
Oh yeah, you can keep your doctor, you can keep your health plan.
Right.
So, all right, man. Well, listen, you have a great day. I just wanted to let you know about that poor man getting shot and killed over his son's truck. That's pretty bad, you know. And I don't care what anybody says. I mean, if it, you know, they're just out of control, man. These blacks are just totally out of control. And you can call me a racist. I don't give a crap. The bottom line is the blacks need to get their people straight. You know what I'm saying?
They don't need to do anything but stay black and live.
No. If I was surrounded by a bunch of country hicks that were doing wrong and they were white, I would let them know, hey, man, you're doing wrong, man. You know what I'm saying? That's wrong of you to be acting like that. You know, I'm not going to side with them just because they're white.
Right.
Right.
Totally.
And there are some white people like that, but they're very, very low percentage. Okay, you got what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They usually live in a trailer park. All right, you get what I mean? So you know, it's because they're not very educated and blah blah blah. So all right, man. Well, listen, have a great day. Hake, you be good. All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right, later on. All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Chase, Texas, who's on the line here. Chase, good to hear from you, sir. How you doing? Are you there, Chase? No, Chase is it stunting? Hold on, Chase. He's not answering me. He's just hollering. William III, California. How you doing, William?
All right. How you doing?
Fine, sir.
I don't know what was that?
Chase being Chase.
Chase okay?
He'll be fine. I think that Derek is talking to him.
Right. Well, before that, ladies and gentlemen, that was David in Ocala.
Oh yeah.
The one and only David in Ocala.
The man himself.
The man himself. And a shout out to William in Northern California up here with me, and also Pinocchio's Helicopters and Mr. Pink Builds. Hope you guys are doing good. You made me go to the beach.
Nice. Sweet.
You made me go to the beach.
Right on.
I went to China Beach.
Okay.
And it was nice. Very nice. Very nice. Seeing ships come in under the Golden Gate. Beautiful scene. But on a serious note, David's right. It's out of control. let's see what we got out here, like the great Casey Jones would tell his Boston Celtics with Larry Bird. Let's see what we got out here and draw up a play. So what's going on out here in Columbus, Ohio?
I don't know. What is going on in Columbus?
They had a festival, and several people were shot.
Oh, boy. Typical.
Several. Some in critical.
Not good.
Not
not surprising. No, I didn't hear about it. Multiple people hospitalized after South Columbus shooting Saturday night. WSYX. Manhunt for suspects after 12 shot near a festival in Ohio. Chaos after mass shooting.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to get hit. So police are searching for suspects.
Well, go to big crowds with a lot of blacks, and David's right. It's out of control.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been to Columbus, Ohio, but
I don't know.
It's I think they got a strike on lawnmowers. They don't never cut their grass, and crime is pretty high. But all these Democrat cities are having a high concentration of crime. And up here in the Bay Area this weekend, a couple of days ago, the blacks have taken it to another level up in Oakland. They stole some patrol cars.
Wow, that is another level.
What's going on with these moon crickets?
Whoa! We're not supposed to say stuff like that.
Troll cars, whatever. Stolen. So what's going on with them? You like saving them.
Not true.
You're liberal, ain't you?
In a manner of speaking, I am a centrist. 5 Alameda County vehicles, including sheriff's office units, stolen from a county garage in Oakland early Sunday, later recovered. What a mess.
That's next level. That's next level.
Yeah, the police, their hands are tied so badly. Back in the 70s, the Supreme Court, I heard, ruled that you're not allowed to fire upon a fleeing suspect unless they pose immediate danger to them, to the community or to yourself or whatever. And it has been downhill from there, probably downhill even before there. They used counter riot measures upon civil rights protesters, and now those scenes, if you conjure any scene of police versus a so-called civil rights protest type thing, you're gonna look like you're racist. So they don't want to look racist or too tough, and so they just tie the hands behind the backs of the police.
Yeah, they do. They do. And do you think those rules have actually made things more dangerous?
Yeah, because meanwhile, they've enabled the criminals to go further and further out of control. So yes, they say, and it's honestly given the police more of an excuse to militarize. A lot of people are talking about the militarization of the police. Well, because they've allowed the crime to go out of control with immigration stuff south of the border and enabling of welfare and bad families and black anger, racial. They have less of a gripe to be had, honestly, than ever, but they're more miserable and angry than ever, like you and I both
Trump
know.
is cutting a lot of stuff off to these people. A lot of people that don't like the new rules are the ones that were getting the handouts. Yeah. And, as the fraud is running rampant. They're finding out a lot of stuff, man.
Welfare type fraud and stuff like that. Social services.
You got welfare fraud. You got Medicare fraud. You got political fraud.
Anyway. Suspected for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of fraud, and it runs up into the billions.
Yeah.
And, a lot of this stuff is getting cut
quite
off.
Possibly, man.
Well, they're not happy about that,
Maybe JD. I don't know. I don't really have high hopes in JD Vance, man. I would like for him to find and clamp down, because they tried to send him to do a peace deal, and he came back home, and then they didn't try to send him back again.
You need to report that correctly.
I didn't report that right?
It got some, because you sit up there when you're talking to people and you're messing with AI. Like last week, we were talking about the F-word, and you're sitting up there AI, and
right.
then you got me confused because you started talking about G.I. Joe figures. So
that's me. I mean, that's not AI. That's me.
They had something on the table, and Trump did say he does not trust these people.
Right.
Okay, so now this is what we got here is the deal. We got to make a deal. You can't have a nuke. They do not. The world does not allow rogue governments to have nukes. So they're trying to get that deal done, but at the same time, Hezbollah launches missiles over to Israel, not the other way around. First, Israel responds, intercepts everything. And then Iran has a lot of nerves. Like
was it Hezbollah or was it Iran? I don't know. I couldn't really keep the story straight.
They run neck and neck.
Right.
They run neck and neck. And Iran has a lot of nerves to not cut a deal unless we get Israel to stop attacking Hezbollah. Well, Hezbollah is attacking Israel.
Right.
So how do you include Hezbollah in the deal that you got going with the United States? What do you expect Israel to do if you throw some missiles over their head? What have they been through the last 50 years, 60?
Well, Trump told them all to stop, so I think they will.
Well, he's trying to get his deal done,
I know.
But you still have a situation where Israel is going to defend themselves.
Yeah.
So it's kind of complicated.
It is.
The Carmelo Anthony thing, did I hear somebody Friday after I called and tried to defend this young man for stabbing his kid in the heart?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was Steve. He said,
yeah. Steve was trying to say, he was just minding his own precious little business.
That's really stupid.
It is, but
I mean,
it's par for the course.
Because remember, I went to the Indy 500 a couple of weeks ago, and you guys were stuck on Black Jesus, white supremacy, and the N-word. And then Chubb the Builder got arrested for, which I still don't know what did he really do. Now, let's go over this because in my travels, I couldn't catch it all. What did he really do? See, I'm going to go back to what Steve's talking about. So what did Chubb the Builder do?
Okay.
Defend himself?
It sounded like he defended himself.
Okay. But then you're going to have Steve call in and say it's okay for somebody to stab somebody on a high school campus and justify it?
Yeah. It's a mess.
Your Honor.
And when guys, high schoolers, they push and shove sometimes, they get into little fights. So maybe those Metcalf boys, one of them shoved the guy. And that's what happens. That happens sometimes. But that's not like a lethal threat to where you stab a guy. So
they're outside the courtroom.
Yeah, clearly that sounds like it's not a case of self-defense at all.
Well, they said they remember we were talking about the jurors. The jurors are all white. And they dismissed some black jurors because, black jurors could easily say, well, I'm going to stand by mine. That street thing, stand by mine, defend mine.
Right.
And that's not going to be right in a courtroom. So eliminated themselves. And then they eliminated somebody, I know you're going to agree with this one. They said absolutely no teachers in the jury.
Oh, interesting.
Why do you think that's interesting?
Because teachers can be biased and sort of bleeding heart, liberals. Teachers
and they're responsible.
What's that?
For a lot of.
Oh.
And they're responsible for the kids being degenerate, not being able to read in the first place, and having a mindset of being a victim. So they said absolutely no teachers in this jury. And I could see that making sense. What about you?
It totally makes sense.
Yeah. Put a teacher in the jury, it ain't going to go right. Put a black in the jury, it ain't going to go right. They're outside the courtrooms right now talking about we're going to protect ours. Whites on this side, blacks on this side. When And basically, that's not what this is all about. I don't think do you think this case has anything to do with race?
Only in that these guys are prone to quick violence sometimes and hatred.
Yeah.
Thank you, William. I appreciate it, sir.
Take care, man.
All right. I believe Chase is back here. Chase. Are you there? No, he's not. Brandi. In Arizona? Is this Brandi in Arizona?
No, I'm in Hawaii.
Oh, okay. Nice to hear from you, Brandi.
Hey.
Hey.
Silly. Hey, I guess you guys haven't talked about the Jesse and Ashley Ridgeway case yet? About the aborting the Down syndrome baby over the weekend?
I heard about this on Anchor Baby. I don't even know who these people are. Are they Christians?
Obviously not.
Jesse Ridgeway aborted baby. Let's find out. YouTubers, according to Fox News, abort their baby after a Down syndrome diagnosis, and they talked about it, sparking a backlash. Now, Jesse Ridgeway and wife made a quote-unquote difficult decision to end the pregnancy after the Down syndrome diagnosis, per People magazine. So they're YouTubers, Jesse Ridgeway and his wife, and they're likened to Hitler. His wife, Ashley. Jesse Ridgeway is 33 years old. Ashley's his wife. They now sleep with a loaded gun by their bed after receiving a string of death threats for aborting their kid. Life for life. That sounds pro-life, right? And they're white.
They're white.
Wow.
Evil people. You know how they abort babies at 21 weeks?
21 weeks. How many months is that?
Almost 6 months. It was like 3 months away from being born.
Okay. Yeah. Man.
And that's what rip the limbs off of the baby.
Oh, that's a bit
it's
graphic.
The most torturous way to kill your baby. But yeah, that's worse than Down syndrome, I would say. You guys are evil. But I noticed that their last name is Ridgeway. The meaning of Ridgeway means road.
Huh.
Or trail. Yeah, I don't know if you want to Google that to show people, but I was thinking it's funny that this is going to be the road that abortion dies on. Because they didn't do it for health reasons. They didn't do it for rape. They didn't do it for any of the reasons that they claim that they do it for. They did it because they were selfish and didn't want to take care of a disabled baby.
Wow. And you know what? I don't know these people, but I was listening to American Anchor Baby last week. He covered this. And I'm like, I don't know these people, but why am I feeling like I care about this situation? Because they didn't need to bring anything up. I was like on Anchor Baby, just stop talking. And Anchor Baby thought I was talking about him. But no, I was talking about these people. Just stop talking. Like, they didn't need to tell anybody. On top of don't need to do it. But they're just inviting all this hatred. They could have just kept it quiet and let the people speculate, you know? Or just be like, I don't know, but maybe they felt like a lot of times women will want to take away the stigma of something, and so they'll promote things like this. What a mess. So they did a bunch of Instagram stories Wednesday, June 3rd. And he said,
they have like 4 million followers, and it makes you wonder if they are like devil worshippers, dude. Like
Trisomy 21 is the name for it.
Announced it to the world, like they did a baby sacrifice and told the whole world about it.
Yeah, you know, that's you bring up an interesting type of topic by comparing it to that. And, you know, I think that's what that type of thing was. It was selfishness, trying to get ahead in life. I was listening to Bill, the engineer, the host of Punchy TV, talk about witches. and tune into Punchy TV this week, he may talk about witches. And they were not innocent, harmless little people necessarily. They were tools to commit this type of thing, or tools to get poison, or stuff like that. It's interesting. What a mess, huh?
Yeah, it's like they worked for Bell. They announced their baby sacrifice for the world. It makes you wonder if they are witches. But I just think it's funny that their name means road, and this is going to be the road that abortion dies on. Watch.
What do you mean by that? The road that abortion dies on?
It means that, so people have been fighting this whole abortion thing, whether it should be allowed or not, especially later term of abortion.
Okay.
What they just did went totally against what every abortion advocate preaches about.
Yeah, I mean, you remind me, Steven from Maryland, a black guy in his 80s. I think he's 88 or so. But anyway, he said that he's for, pro-choice or whatever until like 3 months. But you said this is 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months. Back when we were like young, out of high school.
You think this will stop it? I don't think it'll stop it. I know I know they're getting backlash, but this backlash is hate. They're catching hate. They're not catching love.
Yeah, well, watch.
And that's not going to stop evil.
Abortion's going to die on this. Like, this is the road. God is speaking through their name. I'm telling you. God is speaking through their name.
Uh-huh.
This is going to be the road that abortion dies on.
Are you Brandi?
What?
Are you on a prophetic kick? Are you trying to be a prophet?
I came up with. I've just seen it. I am, what is autism? It sees the puzzle and it connects the pieces. Like, I just see a puzzle there. That it's like God is speaking through their name. It means road. And what dies on roads? Cars, it's a road is something you travel down and things can die on. And I'm just seeing that this is going to be the road that at least late-term abortion will die on. Back when we were kids, it was like 7 weeks or up to the heartbeat. If you had a heartbeat, you couldn't abort it.
Yeah.
So something's going to come out of this. Watch. I just wanted to say that.
Well, thank you, Brandi.
You know what else I want to mention is I'm watching this lady run for fucking something out here, and she is talking about
what something.
She's running for something. And
you're a millennial, huh? Yeah, I think you're a little bit younger than me, even.
Yeah, I'm 42.
Okay. All right.
But she's saying that she's going to raise minimum wage to $40 an hour, so all of our businesses in Hawaii are going to shut down.
Yeah, it'll be. Money will be meaningless pretty soon, if it's not already,
All right, that's all I wanted to say.
I appreciate you, Brandi.
Thanks. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, bye. I think Chase is now ready. Let me give him a minute to get himself together. Not a full minute, but just a few seconds. Chase in Texas, also known as Tejas. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me this time?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay. So I got a question about marriage and sex before marriage. So, if you have a girlfriend and you are actively having sex with her, and you're not married, girlfriend, right? If you end up marrying the girl, is all the sex you had pre-marriage forgiven, or is that still sinful and it's wrong marriage or something?
That's an interesting question.
Yep.
I would say it's all forgiven, but you don't realize it, and so you kind of it's off to a bad start already, in that you guys were hooked on each other, not based on love, but based on lust. And so it's on a shaky foundation.
Okay.
So it's not about whether it was sinful or whatever. It's forgiven, but it's Because that's in the past. How are you going to be like, oh, is it still sinful that I did this before I got married? It was, you could say, oh, it was sinful in a manner of speaking in the moment, but it was really just, it was mess. It was forgetting about God, if you will.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense, but the information, the opinion I got from my mom, my mom told me that if you had sex before you got married, once you get married, it's all not a sin anymore. It's all absolved. And I thought, no, there's something wrong about that. I don't know. Personally, I don't think that if you're doing that and then you end up getting married, I don't see why it wouldn't be forgiven, because you followed through with the contract.
Wait, you're saying both things.
As long as you stay loyal to each other, it's not like you're going out.
Right.
So you're saying like the marriage would be null and void in God's eyes, or?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the marriage is on a faulty foundation because you guys are decided to get married under the spell, if you will, that you put each other on by using each other. So it's the marriage is based, the whole relationship is based on you guys using each other as for yourselves.
Well, what if you actually got really deep and kind of sort of got to know each other on a level of?
Well, of course, that would happen, but just getting to know each other on that level doesn't mean that you don't have sort of rose-colored glasses because you're not seeing clearly, because you're all up in like that excitement. And I like what Jesse advises, that you do what you want, but he advises people stop having the S and don't do anything like that together for a whole year and then see if you want to get married, because then you have a chance to sober up over the course of the year and see maybe the real person.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely get that. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. So, like, what if you decided, like, what if you could make an agreement to say, and it is a big if, but like, okay, so for 6 months, not have sex at all, see how well we get along, and then, possibly, or maybe like not have sex for 6 months before you get married, after you've been together, and then see if you could still make it. And then if you get married, then it should be okay. Like the marriage wouldn't be null and void, and then it would just be on the two people deciding whether that was really lust or if it was like a real thing, I guess.
I don't know why you cut it from a year to 6 months, but whatever. And then, yeah, go ahead.
But the 6 months was a suggestion that I've heard before.
Okay.
It was just kind of tossed out there.
That's
before,
funny.
Like, what if? Yeah, like, not all people that do bad things don't want to continue just doing bad things. Sometimes
well, I'm not saying that the marriage is really null and void, but I also like the notion that a lot of these marriages are not put together by God, but by the devil. You follow the devil in your mind, that you follow your own selfishness, this false self.
Right.
And there's this false urgency, because, women are waiting later and later to marry, and men are not ready later and later as well.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
So there is, you start worrying about the woman's body clock and stuff like that. And so there's all kinds of things that mess with your head, and you shouldn't allow that stuff to mess with your head. I like the no thinking life idea. That sounds wiser and less worrisome to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this like a theoretical situation, or is it a real situation?
I mean,
you don't have to answer that. Never mind.
It could or it could not be. I mean, I don't know.
A lot of people are in that situation.
Fresh out of mama's basement, so.
Right on.
Yeah, right. Well, I appreciate your input, man.
Yeah, I appreciate
Thanks for taking my call. Next time I'll be on point. So
no worries. Take care, Chase.
Gracias.
All right.
Alrighty.
Adios. Chuck in New Jersey. He actually has a New Jersey accent, but there are many New Jersey accents. Chuck, welcome to the Hake Report.
Good morning. No, it's good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon to you. Fine.
Yes. I recently had called to talk to you about...
Are you on like a Bluetooth or speaker or headset or AirPods or on the road or something?
I'm on the road. Can you hear me now?
I can. We'll put up with it.
Okay, all right, because I'm on the road.
Yeah.
I originally had called to talk to you about hacking, but your conversation regarding marriage and premarital sex kind of interests me as well. But
yeah.
Let me talk to you about the hacking situation. I got hacked.
Stay as close to your phone as you can, or whatever. Just make sure you're speaking up loud and clear, Chuck. You got hacked?
Yes, I did.
What?
And I went to the Social Security office.
Okay.
Because I had to open a new account.
Blink.
And in the process, while I was sitting there talking to the lady from the Social Security office, she said that there's an epidemic of this going on right now across the country.
Oh, wow. Social Security? Your Social Security got hacked?
No, my bank account got hacked.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But it affected my Social Security, and I had to go there and change the account that my Social Security was going to go into. And you have to answer questions as to why you're changing your account. And when I told her what happened, she said, my God, she said, this happens every day. They're getting several people coming in every day regarding hacking.
Yeah.
And I said, well, is this on the increase? She said, definitely. So I'm surprised that our loyal government hasn't made this more aware to people. Just asking. I'm just wondering why this is not being told.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
I feel like it's a very common concern nowadays, getting hacked and getting phished and different things. Do you know what happened? Do you have any idea how it happened? Like where you sent an email or a text that you accidentally clicked on or something?
I was sent an email, but it wasn't from my bank or from Social Security. It was through an investment firm that I invested.
Okay.
And the page and everything on my email looked legit. It said I had to update my information. In fact, the company that I did business with told me that they will never call you. They will only email you. So, having said that, I rely on them to handle certain portion of my investments.
Yeah.
And when I talked to them about it, they looked into their system and they found the fault. Unfortunately, there was nothing that they could do about it. So I had to do the footwork, go back and forth to two different banks, Social Security, my insurance company. I mean, there's a lot of footwork I had to do to make this thing right, to change everything over, to protect myself. And the last thing that I had to do was go to the Social Security office because, you have to, once that happens, you have to meticulously go there and let them know that you were hacked, give them all the information and so forth. And when I went there and the girl told me, the young lady told me, she said, this has been going on quite a bit for the last 3, 4, 5 months, she said. She said it's gotten to the point where every day several people are coming in there and telling them that this has been happening. In fact, there was 2 people that worked on my situation. I was grateful for that.
Nice.
But yeah, this is something that's going on. And when I talk to the people at the investment firm, because they're open around the clock, one thing that I got a little ticked off about was the fact that you're talking to somebody from a foreign country.
Right.
And I'm thinking, the job situation we got here right now, here's a perfect opportunity where a lot of these companies, especially investment firms, will handle, a good portion of people's money across this country. I want to talk to an American. I don't want to talk to somebody with an accent. I want to talk to somebody that's an American.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm sounding prejudiced or ignorant or whatever, but I'm damn tired of talking to a foreigner who doesn't have any concern about my circumstance. So, we're talking about shipping people back to their own home countries. How about these companies, and a lot of them are doing this, that are shipping these jobs, especially jobs like this that involve finance, to countries all over the world, and not having people in our own country that could do the same job.
That would be nice. They need to change. Yes. They need to loosen. I think they need to loosen the pay requirements so that we can pay people cheaply here, and maybe the cost of living would go down too, because the cost of living is so high that you have to pay. They make these laws that you have to pay people more, and that only increases the cost of living because now more people can afford more. And so we have this vicious circle of all these regulations and laws and minimum wage and stuff. That's my Hakenomics solution to hiring American again.
Well, I'm all for hiring American. I'm all for being involved in worldwide trade.
Yeah.
But if you're going to, especially when it comes to our currency, most importantly when it comes to our currency and our financial system,
yeah,
we should be only hiring Americans. Not somebody from.
Would you be willing to pay? Would you be willing to pay an annual or monthly fee for such a service?
We already do.
I know. What a mess.
You already do. I mean,
you probably have to pay more though.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
As long as I'm not losing money. Who in this country can afford to lose $1,000 because they got hacked?
And they take advantage of people who just, there's boomers and others who just don't know the telltale signs, or there's younger people too who scare easily and they fall for these scams or phishing attacks or whatever. So yeah, it's crazy.
But like I said, the most important thing is, you talk about people. Minimum wage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
These jobs that go to these foreign countries, especially in the areas of finance, and people are losing money to the tune that they're losing today. Hell, I would gladly pay, a substantial minimum wage to an American who I know is going to have my best interest at heart, and not put my money into a situation where somebody halfway around the world doesn't give a damn about me.
Yeah, they just have to give you all they ever do is just stay somewhat polite and give you the runaround.
That's it.
Yeah.
So if any president, anybody, I don't care if he's a Republican, Democrat, or independent, comes into office, the first thing that they should do is stop giving away tax breaks to companies that offshore a lot of their employment. Bring it back home.
Well,
you're going to find out that you're going to save money.
Man, they need to make the government get out of the way so that it's affordable and reasonable business-wise to bring the jobs back home too, though. You know what I mean? Because sometimes these government policies are why the jobs went overseas,
Definitely, that's part of it. But the other thing, too, is driven by the investors. The investors say, well, we want more money.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that.
Dollars.
Fair point.
That's a fact of life. We want more money for our investment dollars. So,
right.
As a company that has stocks that the public buys, what's the first thing that I'm going to do? I'm going to look at my costs. And employment is a substantial cost of doing business. So
it is.
We'll send it offshore, train these people, and the rest is history. But then look at what happens. These same people that you hire in some foreign country that works for some big firm, and I'm not going to mention any names because I know you can't do that.
Nice.
But when they do that, and then they have people in that same organization that figures out, well, you know what, I can scam an American. I can do this, I can do that.
Terrible.
I can go in and I can take 10 cents off every dollar. They won't miss it.
Yeah.
They won't miss it, so I'll just keep on doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then they bring their friends in, they do the same thing. I know you've seen these situations where you have these hackers, or these scammers that scam old people, take substantial amounts, thousands of dollars of their savings, and they're willing to stay on that phone and scam that person until they've gotten every dollar out of their account they can get.
Well, I hope that President Trump is listening to the Hake report right now and taking notes.
I hope somebody is, because the way it is right now, it's only gotten worse.
I know.
Instead of getting better, it's getting worse.
That's true. And
now,
really,
the other thing is,
many Americans don't even care about you nowadays. People don't love their neighbors.
Fine. If they don't care about me, I ain't got to care about them either.
Right.
But they're Americans, We live in the same country.
Yeah.
Of course, it's going to be people that doesn't care about you. I've been around 74 years. I know that people don't care about other people.
Yeah.
This is nothing new. But at least they're here in this country.
Yeah.
Does that make it any better? Not necessarily, but they're still in this country. But in a foreign country, you can't do anything about it.
Indeed.
They're here today, gone tomorrow. And they're off with your money. I didn't lose a whole lot. I lost enough that I was really pissed off about it.
Yeah.
And I let the people know about it. I guess they probably, when they got off the phone with me, they probably laughed about it.
Yeah.
But, I was going to make a federal case about it, then I realized, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point? This company is a multi-billion-dollar company. They trade in billions of dollars each and every day. You think they'd care about the few $1,000s they took from me? Of course not.
True.
They're not going to do anything about it. That's just that's the way it is.
Well,
I have to accept that. I don't have to accept it, but unfortunately, that's what I'm left with. And it would cost me more than it's worth to try and recover the money that I lost.
Yeah, definitely. You just have to kiss it goodbye. You win some, you lose some. Easy come, easy go, or sometimes not so easy come, but very easy to go.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
The strange part about it was the day that they took the money, the account that I have made money that day. And I was wondering, how in the hell can this account make money like that? And I didn't do any trades at all. Well, hey, now I learned.
Interesting.
I suspect that it was an inside job, because I'm not the first person this happened to.
Whoa.
When I spoke to the girl about it, she says, "Oh, this has been happening." This is at the investment company. She said, "This has been happening, and you people aren't doing anything about it." Oh, sir, I'm so sorry. Kiss my rear.
I wish you well, Chuck in New Jersey.
You do the same, man. You take care of yourself. Stay out of trouble.
All right.
And all right, just let the world know. Be careful what you do with your money.
That's right. Good advice.
All right, take care.
You as well.
Bye.
Bye. Alex in California. Before I get to your super chats, y'all, Alex says, "How are you doing?"
Hey, Bear.
Hey.
Mic check, sound check, 1, 2, 3.
Sounding good.
Perfect. Can you pin this question, I guess, before I get on to my other subject, because I'll forget?
Okay.
For Ronnie, or I guess any of our wonderful, beautiful black colors in general, are they observing the unreasonable blacks who are reacting to the Cyrus, whatever his name is, case, and ignoring the fact that he had a gun?
What's the Cyrus case?
There's some kid who got shot by an Asian store owner.
Oh, okay, yeah. And the store owner got off. It was a legitimate case of, I think, self-defense or defending his son, because this young man was a teenager, maybe stealing water bottles or something, and he had a gun on him. And they followed him. Maybe they shouldn't have followed him. You know, nowadays you're not supposed to follow people, even if they have allegedly stolen from your store. But he got off. He was acquitted. He was charged with something crazy, right? Wasn't he charged with, like, murder or something?
I think they're trying to do murder. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And he lost his whole gas station / convenience store.
Yeah, they destroyed
Shut
it.
down for 8 months and had to sell it under duress. And thankfully he was acquitted. Sounds like justice, I guess. And so what is the black response? They're saying what was the unreasonable blacks response?
Just totally ignoring the fact that he had a gun, just saying it was cold-blooded murder, you know, like, he's getting off. The framing of it, like, you know about framing. It's such a...
Right.
It's so widely used, but, this kid got shot. He got murdered in cold blood for, you know, trying to steal a water. It's like, no, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. I'm just wondering if and then they also vandalized the gas station.
I know. Well, I didn't hear that they had vandalized it, but I heard that they were protesting outside, even though the new owners have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, so taking it out on innocent people who had nothing to do with it. Yeah, they vandalized it, and then they're also going online and ranting about, you know, like boycotting all Asian businesses.
Wow, what a mess.
So with all that mess, I mean, I don't really care. It's just
So you want to know what the
are they observing that, and then do they realize that fuels the quote unquote black fatigue that everybody's having? It's just getting worse and worse and worse.
Right. So, understandably so. I would think.
Yeah. So my main reason I wanted to call was about the couple. How old was the couple that were aborting?
33-ish. I think the man is 33. Not sure how old the lady was.
Okay, so it's not
31.
Like,
she's 31. He's 33.
Okay, I was thinking they're in their 20s or something.
Yeah.
So can you tell me, number one, are there any other countries that kind of clutch their pearls at the idea of aborting, like, mentally challenged or handicapped people as much as the United States does?
I don't know. Do other countries' cultures have issues with aborting mentally challenged kids? Let's see. Germany, Spain, United Kingdom, Hungary, Austria. What in the world? I accidentally clicked something. Abortion opponents have promoted restrictions on sexual and reproductive self-determination as justice for the physically and cognitively disabled. So there is pearl clutching in a lot of these Western European nations. Yes, it sounds like it.
So it's kind of a white thing to get up in arms about this kind of stuff.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess maybe controversial, but I guess I have a different take than normal, but can you tell me why it's wrong or ethically wrong to do that?
To do in a kid, like stop to abort the baby.
Let's say let's just put like a threshold at Down syndrome and like kids who, do we want to go physical too? Like being born with no legs and arms?
Yeah.
Or just keep the threshold with the Down syndrome? It doesn't really matter to me because either way, I'm kind of. Or go ahead.
To me, I would call it playing God with your life. You find out that the kid is going to be difficult because of you're going to have to take care of it more than it won't be able to take care of itself eventually, right? And so it's a sort of a selfish thing, understandable because who wants to deal with that? But it is a selfish thing to kill a kid in the womb, if you will, for that reason. But it's, I also don't believe in everybody going crazy and judging this couple. They decided, America decided that they want this abortion stuff, and they're going to do it. And okay. So I'm not for pearl clutching per se, but I would be for outlawing it if we had enough sensible people that you could do it politically. How about you?
Well, there's, I guess, a lot of nuances to it, but generally speaking, I don't think it's really that bad. I don't see why it's this horrible thing. Like, if I was trying to have this elite group of people, I wouldn't want to have that type of stuff in the group.
Yeah.
However cold that might sound. And if you look at, like, animals, I just unfortunately had to, for the first time in my life, had to put down a little baby bird because there was like a bird war going on right outside the window of my office at work, and
wow.
One of the rival birds took one of the babies and, like, I'm assuming just dropped him in the parking lot. So he was not doing too well. So I ended up having to put him down. And I'm just thinking, like, in life, like, maybe that was a healthy bird, but they would do that to the birds that are not healthy.
Yeah.
And other animals do that too. It's like a natural thing. And I guess as far as us, because we're emotional, intellectual beings, there's that selfish frame to it.
Yeah.
But isn't there a selfless frame to it as well? Or is there a possibility of that?
Like you're putting the child out of his misery?
Mercy kills?
Maybe. I don't know. It's like a horse. The horse breaks his leg. You don't have a choice but to shoot it, right?
See, it's funny because on that one I totally disagree. But I don't know enough about horses. So.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know.
I think that's messed up.
I feel like Down syndrome kids or trisomy 21 or whatever it is, they're kind of happy, but with the people who take care of them, I think the people, once you're taking care of the kid, you kind of just accept your situation. Maybe you kind of gripe and hate it and stuff like that, but
I don't see that. I see 0% of that with those parents.
Really? They're just kind of miserable?
No, I see 0% misery. I see a 100% just like, we love taking care of this child. It's all positivity.
Autism is another story, though. The totally dysfunctional autism.
Yeah.
People, they have it tough, I think. But because those kids are kind of wild, and they don't understand.
Right.
And but the Down syndrome kids are, I hear, pretty nice overall.
Yeah, and I don't know really anything about it. Maybe if there's someone in the crowd who's like worked with these types of people or just knows more about the condition. Like, I've always wondered if they have kind of the same thoughts, emotions. Like, do they get angry and like want to mess somebody up, like how we would on a bad day, or do they have more control over that, less control?
Yeah.
I always wonder about that, and like, I'm not trying to hate on them at all. I think it's awful, but to me, I look at it more as like a mercy thing versus this selfish, like, no, I don't want to do that. It's too much work. Right. I mean, I'm sure there's probably people who feel that way, but
yeah.
To me, I just kind of look at it more in a mercy way. But I can see how, like, being a right-wing conservative Christian, that would be a tough thing to talk about. But that lady saying, like, this is where abortion dies, whatever, like, get real. I don't think so.
Yeah, no, it's going further, even more crazy than ever.
And just to make my stance clear, abortion to me is not a form of contraception.
Right.
And it's not to be disrespected. I think if there's any cases of it being used, it would be extreme health or cases like we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
But then we have to get into the ethics of it.
Right.
So that's where I'm not like, let's abort all the babies we don't like. It's not really where I'm standing.
And whatever the case, nobody should be up in arms about for or against, I mean, especially those of us who are Christians, we should not be hung up on judging and condemning them just because they're committing what we consider murder, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, out of all the cases of abortion, I think this would this area would be the one place where there could be the most kind of lenience or understanding, at least.
Yeah. Especially young people, you just kind of have to know. It's kind of like how I've resigned myself to treating black people. It's like you guys were raised and bred and marinated in this brainwashing, so I can understand you thinking this way. Similarly, young people are all into themselves, and a YouTuber couple what kind of YouTuber couple would want their style to get cramped, to put it in a vulgar way.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like with the black thing and most things in life, there's not much you can really do about it. The only thing that you really can do is hold a mirror up to it, and hopefully that group or whatever it is in life can observe and see their own behavior. Because when someone sees themselves like on camera or something, that can change their behavior.
Indeed. Yeah, it's kind of like those girls. I don't know if you saw Jesse Lee Peterson's show, but he's interviewed a couple of Mondays now, these gals, and one of them re-listened to her interview, and she caught stuff about herself that she didn't realize, and it's cool.
Yeah, and I'll take off here, but recently I saw a few minutes of Jesse with young Pharaoh. Was that like a recent one, or was that from years ago?
That was about 10 years ago, or maybe 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. He handled him very well. Are you a man? Well, he just went on this paragraph about, how he's a spiritually woman and a man. So I'm like, oh my God, how does Jesse do this?
Stop it, young Pharaoh.
Yeah. All right, y'all have a good day.
All right, you too. Take care. Anti-Semitic rapper, young Pharaoh. Spews bigotry, racist stuff. Marshall Daniels, real name. Okay, let me get to Josh in Georgia, who's on the line over here. Josh, thank you for calling, sir. What's up?
Hey, I was going to comment on Alex's comment about if the blacks are seeing the blacks, the other blacks do that.
Oh, yeah.
That was his first thing.
Yep.
Maybe I'm a little different. I don't really take none of the media or the news stories very seriously.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good way to live.
I mean, the internet and the news media, it doesn't seem like it's reality.
That's so true, man. I used to get very up in arms about the news and stuff like that.
Right.
Thinking I had to, spread the truth or something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah. It's kind of like if you watch enough of it, you'll become like a sports fan.
Yeah,
almost. And
exactly.
You're kind of like, And then you go into the real world and you think other people are thinking that. No one else is really thinking that way, and it's like you're in a different reality when you're heavy into that, like the news and stuff,
Yeah.
But
it doesn't really have anything to do with you.
Yeah, it doesn't. And I think it's just in real life, anybody who's quarrelsome or has a off demeanor, you're just gonna walk away from that person. You're not gonna really. Every blue moon, you may get caught into a tussle, but ultimately, ain't nobody. This race war stuff,
right?
Or the racial cheerleading. That ain't. It seems like they're trying to push that. And if probably the media is trying to push that, they get clicks from it, and the evil deep state wants us fighting amongst each other, but that ain't reality.
Totally.
That's it. Yeah.
It's vanity to get caught up in that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah,
so you didn't. So when you saw, I don't know if you saw the unreasonable response to that case with that young man. His first name was Cyrus, and he got, I guess you can call it unfortunately, done in by the Asian shopkeeper. Had you seen any of that stuff?
I've seen snippets of it, but it's just like all these, these cases happen since, I guess, Trayvon Martin was the first one, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
And then Michael Brown, and it's just thousands of cases like this where, like, people that are heavy into racial cheerleading and their blackness, they are the ones that are into that. But regular, normal people, like, I'm just trying to pay bills and live a quiet, simple life. I don't care nothing, but stay away from me with that.
Yeah.
You know, but it's usually people who, they're activists or whatever, or they got some misdirected anger in them that they're trying to unleash onto somebody, you know.
True.
That are heavy into this, you know. So but most people, I don't even think most people would even know about that or even pay attention to it, you know.
Yeah, I haven't really heard too much. You know, the Trayvon story took off maybe partly because Obama spoke about it. The president of the United States at the time spoke about it, and so it was a different thing. But you're right. There's been an avalanche of these things over the past. Not really an avalanche, but just case after case after case. They all blend together. It's like more of the same. Oh, Lord. And
like no one knows the facts because no one was there.
Right.
So it's set up for us to argue about it because nobody was. I heard people saying that Carmelo Anthony, he didn't have a knife on him. He had a cleat sharpener.
What?
Have you heard?
I hadn't heard that one.
And they jumped, you know, so it's people making up stuff, but maybe that could have been true. But, you know, but nobody was there. So it's just the grounds for you to argue with someone.
Totally.
And get in an unnecessary fight. You know, the devil wants you fighting. And don't fall for that. You know?
Yeah.
That's too much.
That's funny, man. So true.
Yeah.
Do you understand the... part of Alex's question was, do you understand, although you're not really into the black thing, but do you understand the fatigue, if you will, that some people feel towards this type of attitude so common among black people? All too common?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, I understand it. And it's do what's the guy that passed away? Scott Adams. He hit the nail on the head when he said just stay away from the crazy people like that, you know?
Right. Yep. True.
Yeah, stay away from them. Don't even try to help them. Don't try to let nobody see it. And that goes for any, whether they black or not. You know, anyone that's crazy, you just stay up out their way. You know.
Yeah. Definitely, man.
Yeah, and it won't even come into your world if you're not
And you don't have to judge these people who are crazy. They're just blind. You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you don't have to judge the couple who did in their trisomy 21 or whatever, that kid.
Right.
They're blind.
They have a right to do that, huh?
Yeah, and they don't have the good sense to be quiet about it. What a mess.
Right. That seems like that's set up. It's set up for you to overreact to it, and that's what they want. That's the whole reason they're publicizing it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right.
But
on.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like a sports event. You know, you heard about I know you didn't hear about the MMA fight that's coming up this Saturday on Trump's birthday, right? At the White House.
Oh, that's this Saturday?
That's
the 14th? Saturday. Okay.
Yeah, at the White House.
I heard they're going to try to stop it. There's a lawsuit to try to prevent it from happening.
I heard that,
They're like,
too.
Trump and Dana White are making money off of this. And also, they need an environmental review for that building that they're building. You know, the cage or whatever that they're building.
The cage. Yeah, they hate the men. They hate anything manly or masculine. That's what that's about.
Yeah.
So that's
stop Trump type stuff.
Yep.
A mess.
Stop Trump and his toxic masculinity. That's what they're trying to do. But, it's like a sport. I kind of get into that MMA sports stuff a little bit, and it's just like all this other news media stuff. It's just something entertaining, or whether you're into basketball or into football, most people don't even have no idea that that's even going on,
Right. Good point.
If you're into it,
because you don't have to.
You watch it a lot. It's on your algorithm. Yeah, you don't have to. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
If you don't even know about it, it won't even affect your life anyway. That's just how this Carmelo Anthony stuff is. It's like most people probably don't even know about it.
Yeah.
And unless you're into it, but it's interesting though.
Right on, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But okay. Thanks for the show, though, man.
Yeah.
I'll be listening.
Appreciate it. Take care.
All right, man. Later.
Bye. Before I get back to your calls, y'all, catch American Anchor, baby. He's live Monday through Friday after the Hake Report. YouTube.com/NickStreams. Let me make sure I go over here and click in there, click notify me, click the like. I anticipate I shall like it. Look, there's Cloudbops 07, which is kind of like a salute. And he's also on rumble.com/American Anchor, baby. Hit the like. And 07, I guess I can do, right? I got a Blur super chat. Thank you, Blur _ Hey, here's a good throwback for you. When Obama spoke out on Trayvon Martin, he said, if I had a son, he'd look a lot like him. Classic. Yeah. I remember hearing that on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. I was a listener back then, and Jesse's like, Obama tried to make it seem like it was about race, because Obama's black, Trayvon was black, and talking about, oh, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon. Oh, terrible. Cesar Caesar says, sup, Hake, here's a little post-Civil War history you may not have been aware of. After the Civil War, did you know that the blacks in the South almost were migrated to the Dominican Republic? Per Cesar Caesar, who is DR himself, Dominican Republican himself. Better than a Dominican Democrat. According to the Chat GPT, the AI, okay, info may be false. No endorsement implied. After the Civil War, President Ulysses S. Grant supported a proposal to annex the Dominican Republic, then called Santo Domingo, Saint Sunday. Part of the idea was that African Americans, meaning black Americans, or blacks, maybe they weren't considered Americans quite yet, or were they? Not sure. Anyway, facing severe discrimination and violence in the South, could voluntarily move there for new opportunities. It was not a plan to be for forced deportation, but critics argue that some supporters saw it as a way to remove black Americans from the United States, which what would be necessarily wrong with that, you know? These people some of them may harbor resentment because of the brainwashing. The annexation treaty ultimately did fail in the United States Senate by a single vote. Whoa, I didn't know it was that close. I wasn't even really aware of this situation. So neither the annexation nor the large-scale migration ever happened. And by the way, Dominican Republic is just on the other side of the island from Haiti. They both occupy the same island. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the Dominican Republic is the functional side of the island. They're civilized, whereas Haiti is kind of more voodoo and crazy, right? Something like that? I don't know. And they also get worse natural disasters. Don't know. Right? Anyway, just imagine, hey, here's an alternative timeline where I could have been born as an obnoxious black. Sorry, Caesar. Have a great week, people. Thumbs up, Dominican. And celebration hands. Tori says, James, did our friend's status survive the weekend? Indeed it did. Still going strong, sir. You're still the one. Sorry. That's a Shania Twain song, I think. No. Pause. Shout out, black people. Eric, 5 coffees. The reason why we can solve other people's problems but not our own is because we perceive their problems objectively. When we reflect on quote-unquote our problems, we open the door to subjective thinking when there is no me to solve the problem. That me holds all my beliefs, insecure delusions, resentments, anger, emotional thinking. So if I think, what house should I, quote-unquote, buy, the world makes the decision, not me. Wow. Thank you, Eric. Let it be laid out. And Jamie says, dang it, Hake. Don't say that word too much, kids. We want y'all to quit running out of time to read our super chats on the JLP show. Hey, This is not common. I mean, it's not that common. Usually we're pretty good about finishing the Super Chats, I think. This is starting to become a norm. When there is a pie hole runner on the show, shove him away. Life's never promised the next day. You might be taken away by the tidal wave. Jesse could... Whoa. Cancel those words. Choke on a variety pack of his 8 favorite egg rolls. I might win $10 million and not have time to watch y'all's show again. What the? Find time for the Super Chats and quit drinking them soy lattes. Hey. That's too far, Jamie. Don't tell me what not to drink. Anyway, yeah, my bag, Jamie. Maybe I could have pushed a little harder. Is it bag or bad? Eric, 5 coffees. Abortion isn't evil. At 3 months, if you know your child is going to be born deaf and blind with no limbs and genitals, common sense says to abort. Eric says that's not the problem. The problem is women use birth control and abortion as a party drug. Postponing motherhood, which increases the chances of birth defects and need for abortion. Pill emoji. Party dancing gal emojis. I'm surprised at you guys. You guys are so, like, loosey-goosey with, yeah, go ahead and kill the infirm child at 3 months. What? Okay. But shout out, Eric. Popcorn says, I asked Jesse this question. You didn't have time for it today. Yeah. Wanted to get your take. A lot of people using the term black fatigue recently. You're familiar, right? Yep. I've heard it. My question for you is, if someone is annoyed, upset, tired of, or in any way bothered by what black people do, they call it black fatigue. But isn't that just their ego anger that they need to drop? Please respond. Yes, it is. Isn't it black fatigue just a way to mask the fact that they're angry at black people and they need to address that? Yes, they do. Your fatigue, your emotional trauma is your problem. No such thing as black fatigue. What say you? Sure. Yeah. I'll roll with that one, man. Lastly, in your imagination about the Obama Trayvon thing, you tried to say this before, I think. All he said was if he had a son, he would look like him. Put a picture of Trayvon next to Obama. Trayvon, Obama, side by side. Let's find out. Let's see if they have... Oh, sure enough. I don't know, man. What would be the purpose of him doing it? He was feeding into the race thing. I'm not in my imagination. You're lying, sir. You're just using this imagination thing against me. That's what communists do. Communists will try to use their opponents' values against them, try to hold them against their own, up to their own standard. You don't know me, Popcorn. Get out of here with your in my imagination thing. That's for me to say to you, not you to say back to me. That's funny. I saw in the chat Ronnie in Ohio talking about, oh, Hake never passes up an opportunity to blame Obama for something. Okay, nice. Doing okay on this, it looks like. Just double check on other platforms before we get going. Streamlabs, something went terribly wrong on Streamlabs. So I may have missed some Streamlabs stuff. Anchor Baby needs to do a Saturday show, and I'll be able to watch more. It says, forgive yo mama. He has on occasion done a Saturday show here and there. They call it like a chill stream or something. So, I don't know, but he has done that in the past, and you can catch it after the fact. Worth checking out after the fact. What's up, Donald, over there? On Facebook. Hello. What is up to the Pilled crew? Groovy Monk. Hey, let me open up the scratch-offs on pilled.net. Scratch and release. I don't know if you'll get any scratches, but thank you guys. Okay, let's get back to your calls. Alan in Michigan on here. How you doing, Alan?
Pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, I appreciated Eric Harlan's observation on objectivity as opposed to what was it? My tiny little brain is locked here. But he made a contrast, about the subjectivity, objectivity, and subjectivity when we look at another person, and then we look at ourselves. We look at ourselves subjectively, and that I think that's really worthy. But the reason I called, I wanted to answer Chase's a question or a comment about this sex before marriage thing.
Yeah.
In Scripture, in the 22nd chapter of Deuteronomy, and I'm just going to quote these two verses and let you ruminate on it. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. So that's a permanent marriage. There's no divorce allowed. So
interesting.
The scriptures are very protective of women and marriage.
Hey, so that's interesting. That's not a case of like rape. That's more like where they sleep together out of wedlock, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I used to kind of think this way, like if you sleep with that gal, you may as well marry her. That's how I used to think.
Interestingly enough, there's some verses before it, but I won't quote them. I'll just paraphrase. There is, we've heard of this thing, believe all women.
Oh, yes.
Women lie. There is a case in the scriptures where a woman's word is taken without evidence. And that is the difference. This is in the event of a rape. If a woman is out in the open country and is assaulted and abused, you know what I mean by abused, the S word, if she says, I was assaulted, her word is believed, because she could have cried out and nobody would have heard her, but the man is guilty. So it's a question of, yes, believe women in that case. However, if it's in the city, that is a completely different situation, because if the woman is assaulted in the city, she could have cried out.
Oh,
and in that case, see, there's a difference between these two. I don't want to call it situational. I guess I will. Situational.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to bring that out again, and I'll just add this: the society we live in, and I often talk about our Babylonian system and everything that's so rotten and corrupt.
Yeah.
Women are so often allowed off the leash. And I've seen this time and again. And I remember going to a party at a very wealthy man's house. He's an insurance salesman, I think for airplanes or whatever. Yeah, for airplanes. Which he had almost a mansion. And as they were talking and they were serving the food and all that, he had mentioned his daughter going alone to Europe. And at that time, now this has got to be 25 years ago, I thought to myself, you let your daughter, I didn't say it, but I said, you let your daughter go alone to Europe? And then you hear, well, like when I was growing up in graduating from college in the 60s, going down to Fort Lauderdale, the gals and the guys who had money, and believe me, the school I went to, a lot of people had money.
Okay.
They would go down to Fort Lauderdale, and God knows what was going on, and I'm
terrible.
One only has to imagine what kind of hanky-panky was going on down there. Girls gone wild. In fact, wasn't that a Fort Lauderdale? I don't know. I never watched the program.
I heard that they started doing this free love stuff in the 50s. Is that true?
When I was
I know it went
up,
really out of control with the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. 2000s.
I believe when the beginning of the 60s, that's when the birth control pill came in.
Right.
And this idea that sex is recreational. Well, I guess it could be. And that's when that started. And, okay, I'm calling rank here on 80 years of being around.
Yeah.
Seeing how morality has declined. Things that would have happened in the 50s, you just wouldn't have seen it. But
okay, so there was, I guess they're saying stuff was taking place under the surface during the 40s and 50s.
Oh, sure.
But it went out in the open in the 60s, and that was not the right solution, I guess.
Right.
I don't think.
Just as a general, as I've said, I live in the rural charms of Huron County, Michigan. And just because you live in a rural area does not mean that the people are any more moral than they are in the city. Well, maybe a little bit. Because I've seen some hanky-panky going on up here, and heard rumors from people I know and trust.
I'm afraid to look that up. Anyway, yes, terrible.
Yeah. And, it's all over. In fact, not morally straight relations. Is that the word you use?
Yep.
That's even up here. That is even up here.
Wow.
And, it's everywhere. And, boy, it's a good thing I'm not God. I'd be sending thunderbolts down. God is very merciful.
Yeah.
So in any case, I didn't want to take up too much time. I just wanted to bring up that thing about the marriage laws and how sensible they are, and how really the job of a father is to guard the virginity of his daughter. Because remember, in scriptural law, if a man takes a woman and she's not a virgin, and there's a whole procedure, the tokens of virginity and stuff like that. I don't want to go into that.
Thank you.
He could send her back and say, you committed fraud. You said your daughter was a virgin, and she's not.
Mm.
That was grounds for annulment.
Yeah.
So, it's a very strict thing, but it worked. It worked in early America. Very strict. I think we talked about the courting candle, where the parents would say, "Okay, you got so much of this candle, and when the candle goes out, courting is over. It's in the parlor or whatever thing." And there was much more a guarding of purity in those days.
Yeah.
And I think we'll eventually go back to that. I mean, people are rejecting that now. And I think the work that Jesse is doing is interesting. And I'll just finish with, I'm not trying to apple polish here, but the fact is.
Oh, he cut out.
Okay, if you can do that and still come back a year later, more power to you. Yeah, I think you've got the.
Oh, Jesse's you cut out there.
Sound marriage.
You said.
The 1 year hiatus from you know what.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I thought that's pretty sensible. If a guy and a gal are in the what is it the throes of oceanic feelings and things, if they can do it for 1 year and then come back and get married, I think they got a pretty good chance of having a stable marriage. And I'll just leave it there and just go on. And all I wanted to do was straighten something out and explain something to Jason the Scripture.
Thank you.
I enjoyed, was it David from Ocala, one of your first callers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I always enjoy him. Yeah, I think he knows something of the Scriptures, too. So thank you very much, and good Super Chats, too.
Take care, Alan. Thank you.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Brady, Arizona. Brady. Originally by way of South Canada, also known as Minnesota. How you doing, Brady? Whitebeard?
Comrade.
Hey, we're commies now.
Hey, there was just some breaking news I heard from King Trump there. He's going to bring back the chastity belt, make it mandatory for all females in his country. And he wants to do away with the abortion bill. I heard, I don't know if this is true, you might want to check it on your AI.
I don't believe that for a second. That doesn't sound like the Trump I know.
Yeah, he wants to go with the new chastity belts designed in China and in Israel. So
cute.
We'll see what happens on that. Anyways, I wanted to talk about. I did happen to watch the Enoch again, the full movie. But what I like is kind of a spin-off of that is I asked you a couple weeks ago if you ever saw the movie or the story about the Giants of Kandahar.
No, I don't know if I ever have. The Giants of Kandahar.
Can you look that up on your AI with your keyboard? I know you're pretty handy with that.
I am very handy. The Giants of Kandahar with a K. Popular modern military urban legend claiming the U.S. Army Special Forces squad encountered and killed a 13-foot-tall, red-haired, six-toed humanoid in the remote mountains of Afghanistan, early 2002. Wow, look at this guy. Arr. Wow.
There you go. There you go.
That's so weird. You know all the off-the-beaten-path little stories, sir.
Yes. I do lots of research onto the Giants.
Your phone is awful, by the way.
I'm inside it. How about now?
That's a little better, I suppose.
Got heavy winds here out in the desert.
Yeah, you can say that again.
You have to watch
this is really bad, Brady.
How about now?
Okay, thank you. 1 minute. Sorry, I'm cutting you off. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Yeah, you have to check out that movie, The Giants of Kandahar, not Canada. But what they want to do now is, King Trump, he wants to have Alberta, Canada, branch off and be the 51st state. Canada's
really?
Canada's having some internal affairs, but that country's broke. And you got to remember, Canada is under British rule. That's
true.
King Charles now. It used to be Queen Elizabeth, but she kicked the bucket a couple years back. And
yeah, rest in peace.
You got that ugly. Yeah, you got that ugly reptilian King Charles now.
I don't think he looks bad.
And did you know that Justin Trudeau is actually his last name is going to trade back to Justin Trudeau is going to be Justin Castro. His father is Fidel Castro. I don't know.
I heard speculation. He does look similar. They're two little liberal communist chads, aren't they?
Yeah.
I got to run, sir.
I don't know. Did you know that Trudeau was dating Katy Perry, the astronaut? Oh, my God.
I did hear about that. That's cute, I guess.
Oh my
Except
God,
I don't like it because he's already married with children. Not married to children, but married and has children. And what a mess. That's not right.
What kind of eyes is that child going to have? Oh, my God.
I got to run, sir. Take care.
See ya.
All right, bye. And unfortunately, I cannot get to Rick in Hampton, VA. Wanted to comment about Trump in New York. And I can't really get to see Bill, who says that liberal men are always for abortion because they have the woman's mindset. Beta male, laughing face emoji. And Popcorn was somewhat trolling about black fatigue and stuff and in my imagination thing. But I'll have to read the rest of Popcorn's super chat tomorrow and the rest of y'all's stuff. Peace, though, in the Middle East, or at least in y'all's heart. American Anchor Baby up next. Adios, America. Take care.